Avoiding attachment styles, and today we're talking about how do we set boundaries with someone who's got an avoidant attachment style. Well, first we've got to admit that setting boundaries even with ourselves can be quite a task. So how do we set it with someone else? When we're looking at setting boundaries with someone who has an avoidant attachment style, well, that is challenging. Why? Because they often prioritize their independence and they may feel overwhelmed by closeness and emotional demands. Setting a boundary, a lot of times we feel like, when we're setting a boundary with someone who's got an avoidant attachment style, we're really saying, okay, this is what's going to make me happy, and I would really appreciate it if you change yourself to do this thing that makes me happy. And that usually doesn't work because it comes across to that person as though we're trying to control them. And no one likes to be controlled. So let's talk about a few do's and don'ts statements that might be healthy and definitely helpful in your relationship with someone who's got an avoidant attachment style. You do want to communicate your needs clearly and calmly, but you want to do that in a way that doesn't say to them that I want you to change your feelings or deal with your discomfort, but do something that makes me happy. So what we can say is, I value our relationship, and it's really important to me that we spend time together. I think it would be really nice if we can plan weekly date nights. And then you ask, how would that make you feel? You don't have to respond right away. Just let me know, right? And you let it be. Allow them the opportunity to process this. But what I've said here is I value our relationship. It's at no point in that sentence, and let me pause for a second. If you don't have your notebook and your pen, I would strongly recommend grabbing it, or you could always come back and listen to this, but we want to be careful with the wordings, right? I value our relationship, and it is important to me that we spend some time together. It would be nice if we can plan weekly date nights. What that is saying is that I'm not attacking you. I've not used the word you. I'm not saying this is your responsibility. I'm saying that this is how I feel, and we are in this together, which allows the avoidant attached person to know that they have a say in how this moves forward. You're also saying this is what would make me happy. And the underlying statement there is, I will not really stick around if I'm in a relationship where I'm not happy. You see, avoidant attached individuals, they struggle to interpret unspoken expectations. So when you're very clear with communication, it helps to prevent misunderstandings. We also want to respect their need for space and independence. It's not all about us. It's not all about what we want, what would make us happy. We have to be attuned to their needs as well and come to a compromise. You can say something like, I understand you need time to yourself. Let me know when you're ready to reconnect. And you back off. You see, we want to give them space so that would help them feel safe and prevent them from pulling away further. So we're saying that, okay, I get it. I get you need your space. Let me know when you're ready to reconnect. No pressure. No pressure. I could get about my life. I could make myself happy. I could go to the movies by myself. I can have dinner by myself. I love being by myself. I have hobbies. I'm not dependent on you to make me happy. It takes off the pressure from that person, and they want to spend time with you because they don't feel like, oh my gosh, I've got to be pressured into making them happy. Okay? So respect their need for space and their independence. Set boundaries around your own emotional well-being. You can say, I care about you, but I need to take a step back if I feel like my needs are not being considered. If you feel like you keep giving and giving and giving and you're not getting anything really in return, or you're just getting what we call breadcrumbs, you get to respect your boundaries and say, okay, I need to pull back. I need to take care of me. I need to reassess where I'm at and make a decision on how I want to move forward. And you get to ask for that. Now, what this will do is allow this person to sit and reflect and say, wait a second, maybe I've not been showing up. And they get to make a decision on if they want to put more effort into showing up, working on their healing, pushing through whatever discomfort and fear, and showing up some more. But what this is really going to do is it helps you to protect your emotional health and well-being, while you're also showing that you're not trying to control them. You are doing what's best for you as well. You also want to focus on building trust gradually. The key word there is gradual. You want to be patient. So you can say something like, I appreciate when you share your thoughts with me. It helps me to understand your needs better. It gives them, this statement will give them that feeling that they can share how they're feeling and what they're thinking, that it is a safe space. It is a safe space for them to say, I need some space. And then they're not going to be bombarded with questions like, oh, why do you need space? Don't you like me? Don't you want to be with me? Is it something I did? Why don't you want to spend more time with me? If we're in a relationship, then space is not normal. That's an attack, right? You bombard someone with questions is a form of attack. Now, they probably don't want to get into the lengthy process of explaining why they need space. Perhaps they just need space because they've been having a hard time at work and they've not shared details of it. Maybe they've been in their head about something that's going on in another part of their life, their children, for example, change of career, travel plans. We don't know what people are dealing with, and they don't have to always share it with us. We don't have to be in someone's mind all the time. We can just appreciate that this is a human being. They've got their struggles. They're asking for some space. If they feel like sharing it, okay, we might be open to listening, but we don't have to pressure them into explaining exactly what they're thinking and feeling at any given time. So what this will do is a lot of times they are afraid of being vulnerable. And when you give them a safe space to share how they feel without asking a ton of questions for clarification, you just say, okay, whenever you're ready, I'll reconnect. And then you use that time to build yourself up. Then they see that it's a safe space and they start to trust you. Now, what you don't want to do, we're in the don'ts now. You don't want to take their need for space personally. You want to avoid saying things like, you always pull away when things get serious. Do you even consider me? When they're asking for space, it is their time for them. It's not a time for me. It's not a time for me to insert my needs. It's like someone coming to you and telling you that their favorite pet passed away. And you're like, oh, yeah, I get it. But how about this thing that I went through? All right, when someone is asking for their needs to be met, that's a time for us to say, okay, I understand you need space. You can say to yourself, I don't get it, but that's all right. They need this, and this is what I'll do for them. Because when we say something like, you're always pulling away when things get serious, you don't even care about me, what we're doing is we're telling them that they're not perfect enough for us. They're feeling criticized, and most likely they are going to pull away. We also don't want to push for immediate emotional intimacy. So we want to avoid saying something like, why can't you just open up to me? I need to know how you feel. No, you don't. It's like saying to someone, I need to read your journal. I need to know what your thoughts are. And you're a mean person for not giving me your journal. A person's thoughts are very, very personal. It's very personal. You know, sometimes we talk about what if a government decides to put a chip in our bodies and access all sorts of information. Right now, we're kind of weary about the information about, you know, ourselves, our credit card information, our Social Security. I'm in the U.S. That's out there and how people can access it. How are we not afraid or concerned? Perhaps afraid might be a strong word, but concerned when someone says, "Tell me your thoughts." no, I'm not ready to share my thoughts. I don't know how it's going to be received. I need to think about this, right? So try not to push for people to tell you, try not to push for them to open up or for them to tell you how they feel. Pressuring someone with an avoidant attachment style can trigger their fear of feeling like they're going to be suffocated in the relationship. It's like, oh my gosh, I've got to tell this person what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling. I'm not sure if I want to tell them all of this. What if they don't want to hear exactly what I'm feeling? And that's something that we want to think about too. Do we really want to know what they're thinking or feeling? What if it's not nice? What if we don't like it? So allow people the opportunity and the space to share what they want to when they're ready. You also don't want to neglect your feelings to accommodate them. So avoid saying things like, I'll just wait for you to reach out, even if it takes weeks. You don't want to do that. This can lead to a lot of resentment and imbalance in your relationship. You don't want to prioritize someone so much so that you are wasting your hours and your days just waiting for them. You can get about your life. And if they don't show up in a time that you accept as acceptable to you, you get to reach out and say, this is not working out for me. I don't like where this relationship is going. I don't like how this feels. I believe that we either can meet and discuss how we move forward, or I would wish you all the best. And you let it go, right? Because the last thing you want is to build up resentment and stay in a relationship. That's when we start making those passive aggressive, little jabs at each other, which eventually breaks down the relationship. It ends the relationship, not break it down. It ends it. You don't want to use guilt or manipulation to get closer. This will always, always backfire with someone who's got an avoidant attachment style. I will forever preach this. These are people who are very self-aware, very intuitive. They can spot when someone is insecure or when someone is trying to manipulate them. So you don't want to say something like, if you really love me, you'd want to spend more time with me. The two has got nothing to do with it. A person can love you and still love their alone time. So let's not try to use that kind of language to make them do something that we want. It can make them feel trapped and less likely to engage. You also don't want to assume that they don't care about the relationship. So don't say things like, you're so distant, I guess this relationship doesn't mean anything to you. Again, that is a form of manipulation, which we don't want to have in our relationships. We want this person to feel safe. So, when we say something like, you're so distant, I get this, I'm guessing that this relationship doesn't mean anything to you. They often care deeply about the relationship, but they often struggle to express it. You want to look at their actions, less at their words, focus more on actions. It's usually more about how we say the things that we say and less of what we're saying it that sets the boundaries. Okay, so let's focus more on things like how we're saying things, the tone that we're using in setting our boundaries. And remember, you can't set a boundary with someone else. When we try to tell someone what they need to do to make us happy, what we're really doing is trying to control them. I can set a boundary with myself with saying that, you know what, I will not tolerate someone using a particular kind of language with me. Now, how do I do that? Yes, I can say it. Hi, I don't like it when you use that kind of language. And if they continue to do it, what I do is walk away, remove yourself. You've already stated the thing. When you walk away, then they know exactly why you're walking away. All right, so you set the boundary with yourself. Respect the things that you will accept or not. What I'm saying there is know what you will accept or not. Set the boundary. I will not tolerate this. And when that thing happens, you already know this is not for me. And you physically move to get that message across. Try that for about a week and see how that works in your favor. Come back, let me know. Don't forget, share this episode with your friends, family. We never know who it can reach. And it also helps the algorithm to send this particular podcast to people who are searching for it. Don't forget to subscribe for new episodes. Until next time, I'm your host, Annalisa.